Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and today is a very special show, and I'm delighted to be welcoming someone from UK who has almost 4 decades of experience of serving his patients. The way he has served has brought a lot of recognition his way. That includes he's fellow of Higher Education Academy. He's also the recipient of prestigious National Clinical Excellence Award, and for something that makes all NRIs as well as Indians proud, he is also someone who was conferred Order of British Empire for his services. And I take this opportunity of welcoming someone who came up, who visualized the importance of an organization like BAPIO, what BAPIO is, and how has been the journey of Dr. Ramesh Mehta as far as diversity and equality is concerned. We will focus more on that. So let me take the opportunity and welcome you. Dr. Namaste, welcome.
Namaste, namaste. It's great pleasure to meet you, Ashok.
Thank you very much, Dr. And same here. Somehow it kind of makes us connect more with your journey if we start from the day you landed in London. Or what was it that you had in your mind, how it has been?
Well, London and UK education system is revered by all Indian doctors. And my objective of coming to UK was to get trained in the UK system of education and then return home. But like most of my colleagues, I got my education here, my training, my qualifications, and I was offered a very good job. And of course, I decided to stay on. So that's how my journey started, which is almost 42 years ago. I came to UK in 81, and I have had very fruitful and satisfying career here.
I'm so happy to hear that. And let's look at your specialization. Was this something that you consciously picked up being a pediatrician? Was there something as far as children's health is concerned that pulled you towards it, or it was by chance?
No, no, no. Children have been my love. I always wanted to work with children, and I'm so pleased that I chose this specialty where you can play with your patient, you can pick up your patient, you can cuddle your patient, and you can see them getting better very quickly. So it was my choice. I had actually done my post graduation in India before coming to UK for further training.
Now let's look at the cultural side when you are especially looking at children as your patients and the way you had your instincts while relating to children and the way probably there are some cultural nuances which are different in UK. Did Was there any need for you to learn few cultural tidbits to
Absolutely, absolutely. There is a huge difference between the Indian culture and the UK culture. Although over the years things have been changing, and now it may not be as much of a difference as it was when I came here in 1981. So I had I had to learn how to handle and how to speak with white children. Problem was not that. Actually, parents were extremely not only helpful but thankful for the way I was handling children. However, the problem was little bit outside. The discrimination and racism when I came in was quite rampant, really. And I personally also was, um, in a way, I suffered with discrimination, whether it is doing the examinations to further my career or to get a good position in the hospital situation. So, because of that, what I suffered, I thought I need to do something about this. And that's how thought of BAPIO came in my
Yeah.
mind.
So allow me to interrupt you, and before we go to BAPIO, let's look at the mindset of someone in your shoes who not only is dealing in a competitive world to stay on the top of his field, and in addition, there is this discrimination and racism which puts you down, and it kind of takes a toll on your spirit. So, how did you deal with that complex situation?
Very, very good question, Ashok. It wasn't difficult. The first thing was my ambition was to progress in my career, and I was committed to that. And that meant that I had to work 10 times harder than local graduates. So, hard work was the first thing. Second thing was continuous ambition of career progression, um, and motivation. So that's how I managed to be where I am now.
So, talking about motivation, were there any role models who sort of helped you in finding your way to stay upbeat?
Yes. Um, I have had role models from back home. I have had role models from UK as well. Um, Vivekanand is one of my solid role model who had said that stop not until you achieve what you want to achieve. But fortunately, I also had local mentors who were guiding me and supporting me in spite of the difficult situation of discrimination and racism. At that time, as I said, was much rampant, although things have improved significantly since then.
Yeah. If I may request you to share any instance which sort of clarifies what is it that one goes through when there is discrimination and racism around, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. So I can give a couple of examples. One is, the P word, which is not really very nice. I hope the audience in America would understand. P word is for Paki, Paki, and that is taken in a very bad sense in UK. And when you are walking on the street, some white children, especially, would call you with P word. Um, my first week in the hospital, I was a little late for the ward round because I was going through the induction process in the hospital. So when I joined the ward round, those days, matrons, so the senior nurses called matrons, used to be the bosses in the ward.
Yeah.
And this matron in the hospital, my first day actually, she said, "Oh, doctor, you are late. This is not acceptable. And this is your first day, so it's okay. But if you do it again, I will put you on the ship and send you back to India."
Man.
I mean, that was extremely insulting for me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was very upset. So when I spoke to my senior consultant that why I was being insulted, I was told that, look here, in England, you need to follow matrons. So things will cool down. Once they get to know, they will be better and so on. But that's how it started, my journey.
So now let us move forward, and there have been many achievements your way, and um, but in particular, in addition to your professional excellence, what is it that made you come up with the idea of BAPIO, which is British Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, and how was the initial response of other physicians? And I mean, this is an incredible organization. Talk to me about its inception and now.
Okay, so as I was getting better in my own career, and I became the consultant, and that was quite senior position. I was well settled with my family and so on. At that time, I was looking around, and I could see that there were many new international medical graduates coming in the country were suffering badly. There was a time in early 90s when thousands of doctors were coming to the UK hoping to find a job because there was shortage of doctors. But the shortage was at senior level, and the doctors coming in were all newly graduates from India and taking a test called PLAB test, which is equivalent to or similar to US MLE to get the license to work in the country. A lot of them were passing the exam, but were not able to find the jobs, and they were doing, whatever job they could get at petrol pumps or cleaners and so on. And we were feeling very bad, me and a group of my friends. At similar time, I had noticed that a similar organization in America, and American doctors will be knowing API very well, American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. I was very impressed that just around that time, President of America was the chief guest at their annual convention. And I could see that they had a lot of influence. There was nothing like that in UK at that time. There was an organization for overseas doctors. It was called ODA, Overseas Doctors Association. And I thought that wasn't the right thing because we were British and we need to start by saying we are British and then see what can be done. So along with my friends, I founded this organization called British Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. At that time, there were over almost 60,000 doctors of Indian origin who were working in the National Health Service of United Kingdom. So this is how we started, and gradually we became very, very influential. And at this time now, 26th year of our formation, we are hugely influential. We are the biggest national organization of ethnic minority doctors. Our members include not only Indian doctors, not only Indian subcontinental doctors, but a lot of English, European, Eastern European doctors are also our members because we believe in equality.
So I want to clap and I want to express my excitement and joy on learning about BAPIO, and I'm sure many of our viewers are also excited about the journey of BAPIO and the way it was conceived. Let me also mention for our viewers that you have also led another important organization as president, which is GAPIO, that is Global Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. And why I tie up these two organizations with you right now is being a leader is an important role that one may or may not take, or one may be qualified to be a leader is also something which varies from individual to individual. And in that context, I think how you articulate the goals and what kind of activities that you have for the members plays an important role for this to thrive and sort of keep people excited about being a part of that organization. So talk to me about what did you learn leading GAPIO and how BAPIO's core ideas which you feel helped members in resonating with this organization.
Yes, I think it's a very good question. GAPIO was a brainchild between three people. So the first of all, I think everybody knows uh, Dr. Pratap Reddy, the founder of Apollo Group of Hospitals
Yes.
from India. My colleague at that time, API president, was Dr. Sanku Rao, and myself from BAPIO. So we got together and we thought that why not we have something which will not only assist the Indian doctors all over the world, but also we can improve the patient care globally. So at that time, we estimated that there were 1.2 million Indian doctors scattered all over the world. In almost every single country of the world had Indian doctors helping their healthcare. This number has, of course, increased over the time, and now we estimate that there are more than 1.4 million doctors of Indian origin who are assisting healthcare worldwide. So this idea was then converted into forming this organization called GAPIO, the Global Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, with one vision, and the vision was improving health worldwide. So, Dr. Reddy, Dr. Sanku Rao, and myself launched it in 2011 during Pravasi Bharati Divas in Chennai. Since then, over last 12 years, it has made huge progress. It has grown, and especially, uh, being Indian, India is always in heart of all who have immigrated from India. So we, of course, want to give back to our mother country, and that's what we have been doing. But also, we are very considerate that we should also ensure that we improve patient care in whichever country we are working.
Yeah. So
So,
let me request you to share some top sort of projects that you consider in living up to this idea of giving back to India from BAPIO or from GAPIO. And I'm sure you have worked closely with Government of India and Ayush Mantralaya and anything that is happening right now. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So let me just explain that, GAPIO stands on four pillars. So our four different ways of supporting or working in different countries, especially in India. So the first pillar, we call it influencing the policies of the country towards healthcare. The second pillar is promoting professional excellence and leadership amongst doctors of Indian origin or all our members. The third pillar is collaborating with social and cultural organization to promote what we call wellness. Very, very important, we believe. And finally, the fourth pillar of GAPIO is doing charitable work. So, your question, what we have been doing in India, lots and lots of things. Fortunately, we have very significant leadership in India, which starts from Dr. Pratap Reddy, who is himself a role model for almost all the doctors all over the world. We also have other leaders, including Dr. Anupam Sibal, Dr. Nand Kumar Jairam, and so on. Just to give you some examples of various projects that have been carried on so far, and one of them is called Stop Sugar Program. Now, a Stop Sugar Program is uh, aiming at promoting pre-disease screening and management of diabetes in India. So we have had several camps all over the India, especially in rural areas where we have carried out the screening for diabetes, and those who were positive or were pre-diabetic, they were given appropriate advice and guidance. Actually, Dr. Pratap Reddy had also adopted one of the villages where the ordinary people, the simple lay people were trained to do some basic screening process like checking the blood pressure, doing blood tests for diabetes, giving some advice on nutrition and so on. So the other very important project was free plastic surgery project from GAPIO. And this was in collaboration with American Society of Indian Plastic Surgeons. And plastic surgeries were carried out in different parts of India. So these are some examples, but we also have been talking at the government level, influencing various policies and promoting health. Since COVID, we have realized the importance of virtual education, and GAPIO has been involved in regular teaching sessions, virtual teaching sessions, with very significant impact for the ordinary working doctors throughout, not just India, but throughout the world.
Wonderful. I think talking to you is inspiring for me personally, as well as for many of our viewers. Learning how one moves from point A to point, if I say, Z in terms of zenith of one's career. And I'll also recollect with you talking about leadership. Currently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is known to be a global leader in his own right for several reasons, and including his emphasis on alternative ways of healing. That includes intensity of yoga, that awareness about wellness. And I'll also bring to our attention the present leader of UK, that is Rishi Sunak, coming from Indian origin. That, I think, it says a lot about the days that you mentioned about discrimination. I'm sure it still is there. It's not. It cannot go away 100%. But yet, moving in that direction. And I would also, considering the paucity of time that we have, I would like to recollect. I would like to request you to recollect the moment when you were awarded Commander of the Order of British Empire. Even saying it makes me feel so good. How was it for you?
Well, it was a moment of great pride that being sort of immigrant in this country and having struggled in early stages of my life, eventually I was recognized firstly by the Queen and secondly by the King of United Kingdom. So just about my recognition by the Queen, which was 5 years ago, and the award is called
CB?
it's it's called OBE, and OBE is Officer of the
Order of British Empire.
yeah
Yeah.
Officer of the Order of British
Oh,
Empire.
okay.
So it is Officer of the Order of British Empire that was the first recognition from the palace. And I was invited to the palace, and I went with my family, and I was given that special award. This year, unfortunately, the Queen since then has passed away, and King Charles is the King of United Kingdom now. And in his New Year's honors list, he has awarded me uh, a higher award
Wow.
than the OBE. So from officer, it is now CBE, which is Commander of British Empire.
Very, very good. Congratulations one more
Thank you.
time to Dr. Ramesh Mehta joining us from UK. And just a few minutes that we have. Um, Quick question, since you mentioned about your family, many NRIs sometimes think, oh, if I was in India, probably I was in a better position to inculcate the kind of cultural values which are rooted in Bharat. How is your experience from that point of view? And this also relates to our theme of diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, I think that's an important question again. Children who are born and brought up in this country are exposed to actually quite diverse sort of cultures. Although there are some, I call them ghettos, where all Indians will stay together and will not mix, especially in my early days in the UK. But as with the time, with the changes in communication technologies, exposure to the whole globe, people are becoming a lot more frank, free, meeting and marrying in different cultures as well. So coming back to my children, fortunately, we were able to inculcate the Indian culture. They still, when they're all married and settled themselves, but when they see us, they still like to touch our feet as a matter of respect. And Bollywood is still very popular. Indian songs are popular with our children and many younger generation. So we also have many programs throughout the year. So festivals like Holi and Diwali are celebrated in a big way, even by younger generation. And I'm
Wonderful.
really pleased that we have managed to maintain the good things that we learned from India, and some good things we have learned from English as well.
Wonderful. So it's such an honor, joy, and a source of inspiration to be talking to someone like Dr. Ramesh Mehta ji, joining us from UK, and you heard about all the accomplishments, but along with it, the sincere dedication and commitment, not just for his patients but for the community as a whole. In just the last 1 minute that we have, if you care to share what next in future, your vision, your dreams?
Well, I am hosting a mid-year conference of GAPIO in London in 2 weeks' time. And I'm really pleased that API President, Dr. Samadar, is also joining us, and Dr. Bhatt from USA. There is a large contingent from India. We are in discussion about the way forward for GAPIO. But our basic principle continues to see how we can assist the health worldwide, how we can support the physicians of Indian origin, 1.4 million of them, to see if they can have professional excellence. So this is the idea we continue to promote, continue to discuss, and we will continue to work hard to achieve that objective that we have.
Absolutely. So, thank you very much. I wish you grand success in the noble thoughts and vision with which you are moving forward to make this world a better place. Joining me today, Dr. Ramesh Mehta ji from UK, thanking him and thanking all of you for being with us. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.